So Kevin DiStasio was the guy that was, could you call it harassing James Dolan, the owner of the Knicks?
But in my mind, it's justified harassment.
At a little festival in Tennessee, a music festival where there was about, I don't know, maybe 10 people in the crowd. He was holding up a sign. What did it say? Quit your day job?
Yeah, and sell the team, sell the Knicks.
And you know, he's sitting up there playing his music.
And
Dolan is, and he stops the concert to address this guy with the sign.
Yeah.
And so you reached out to him?
Yeah, I reached out to him on Twitter. I looked him up, and he was like more than willing to get out in front of as many people and tell the story of James Dolan, because this goes beyond, like, okay, James Dolan is a prick for being a bully in his own building, right? But this takes it to the next level, you know?
You go to another state,
thousands of miles
at
away.
A music festival.
You're going thousands of miles away, and you're trying to, like, I mean, it reminds me of that scene in the movie Kingpin when Bill Murray's walking into the bowling stadium and he takes the pizza off the guy's plate and he starts eating it. Like you just feel like you could do whatever the hell you want to do.
But
when you're wherever you are.
But the cojones on Kevin, who's on hold, and
Love it.
We're going to talk to him right now. If there was 20,000 people there, he would just blend in the crowd and the sign would have. But there was only like 10 people there, and he still held it up high over his head, walking around. Sell the Knicks.
If my plan was to go there with the sign, and I got there and I noticed that the crowd was only like 8 or 9 people, I would have been like, yeah, I don't know if this is the right thing. I would have chickened out and I would have put it away, but good up on him.
Kevin DiStasio joins us on the phone now.
Kevin, Jeff, and Jeremy out here.
Hey, Jeff and Jeremy. How you guys doing?
We're doing good. It's funny, when I Google James Dolan today, I expect to wholeheartedly see your story come up first. But I think
right.
I think what you have done is you have become the trailblazer in this movement. Did you saw what happened? You saw what happened over the weekend, then, right?
I did. My friends that live in New York are actually sending me the shirt.
Guy wears a shirt that says St. Patty says ban Dolan. Guess what happens to that guy? Thrown out of Madison Square Garden.
That's fantastic.
Well, it's really a joke of how James Dolan has come to any sort of prominence whatsoever in New York, but he uses his position with authority. I mean, he abuses his power for no other reason because he can.
Well, isn't that pretty much obvious when you're just holding up a sign at a concert with tens of people, or maybe 10?
Yeah.
I might be giving.
You might have been the 10th.
Yeah, I was the 10th.
Yeah, we were joking about it yesterday.
Thing, I mean,
we were joking about it yesterday. We said he threw out 10% of his audience at his show. That was dumb.
He did indeed. He absolutely did. I mean, I live in Tennessee, where there's people that don't care about the New York Knicks at all. I mean, I married a Southern woman. I'm Southern by the grace of God. But the fact is, I'm born and raised a Knicks fan. And when I saw that Dolan was playing at this concert, I couldn't believe it. I was like, you've got to be kidding me that this guy is coming to Tennessee to play a concert.
So wait, was this the first interaction you've ever had with James Dolan, and will it be the last?
Yeah, it was the first interaction I ever had with him. Absolutely. I'd love to have another interaction with him, believe me.
I was really hoping you were going to go up on stage and actually they'd give you a mic, but I'm sure that wouldn't happen.
I tried. I mean, I really tried. I mean, I think I sent you guys a picture of the sign that I had with me.
Yeah, we have that. We have that posted over on our Facebook and on our Twitter feeds.
Yeah, I mean, the funny thing is that this guy had to come to Tennessee thinking that there's no way there's anybody that's a New York Knicks fan here that has any knowledge of my past or what I do, and then boom, he gets hit with this by me. And it was one of the proudest moments of my life, I have to say.
Now, you can't really tell by watching the video. How long were you holding up the sign before he said something about it?
Well, there was nobody there watching him in his show.
What about all those countless people that he claimed went there to see him, and because of their love of music?
There was nobody there to see him. I was the only one there to see him, and I was there because I knew he was the owner of the New York Knicks, and I was able to voice my opinion to him.
We were talking about this. Was it like a festival, or what was it? What kind of show was it?
Yep, the Pilgrimage Music Festival in Franklin, Tennessee. It's a yearly festival, and actually they have some really good bands that play there. Jack White has played there, Chris Stapleton, Lionel Richie, Justin Timberlake, Hall & Oates. I mean, it's a real music festival.
Well, but there's nobody at the festival. Is it because it was so early in the day that there was nobody there?
Yeah, exactly. It was so early in the day. There was no one. I mean, and who's going to go see JD in the Straight Shot? Nobody.
Jaded Knicks fans will.
That's exactly it. I think, gentlemen, the reason why he played in Franklin, Tennessee is because he and his bandmates or whatever were like, there's no way there's a Knicks fan here. There's no way. Boom.
I love that.
I know. It was unbelievable.
So were you surprised that he called you out?
Yeah, I was. Absolutely. I couldn't believe he would waste his time on me. I mean, but then again, I was one of only a few people. You see it in the video there. I was only one of the few people that was there watching the show. So, I mean, he had no other choice because I had that sign that was saying, quit your day job, sell the New York Knicks.
So
up in the middle of this small crowd, and so he called me out.
What was the reception like from the other people around you? Obviously, they saw you have this sign, then he starts calling you out. Were they supportive, or were they big fans and they were trying to push you off, or did they just didn't care?
No, but they just didn't care. I mean, they had no idea what it was I was saying or doing.
They were probably like, what the hell is this lead singer talking about? And why is he stopping to play the music?
Well, then I saw that Kevin, he walks to the stage with the sign up over his head, and he turns around and he walks back. And I heard somebody in the video says something. I forget what he... Hold on a second.
Oh, no.
It's a ways in.
You're a fan of music and you're holding up that sign? Don't you think that that's a little negative? You don't, anybody else here think it's a little negative?
Yeah. Who was that guy? I would have bought him a beer.
One guy goes, boo.
I don't know who that guy
Boo.
was. It was so funny, though, I mean, because it was so early in the day of the festival. I mean, there was nobody there. There was no one I had planned this because I was like, oh, my God, he's playing in Franklin, Tennessee. There's going to be, if one other Knicks fan there besides myself, that would be a lot.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe that he would even waste a second of his energy or time on me.
Okay, so as your story starts to surface, and then you got the guy wearing the St. Patty's Day shirt at Madison Square Garden on St. Patrick's Day, and more and more people are going to do this. Now, I'm reading stories in the media today saying that Madison Square Garden security is looking for people that are attending games wearing Band Dolan T-shirts, and they're going to ask them all to leave. Now, did you leave the concert?
Oh, absolutely not. No, I did not. I just went to another part of the festival because, like I said, there was real bands that were playing that I wanted to see. And I went to other part of the festival, but no, I didn't leave.
I gotta think
to leave.
that you kind of, I mean, I know that you're not the first person, but you doing this and getting attention from it virally, and then the St. Patty's Day guy, and as more and more mounts, maybe Knicks fans will get what they've hoped and wished for all along, and eventually he doesn't want to deal with the ribbing anymore and sells the team.
I mean, that is the ultimate goal of any Knicks fan, is to see him get rid of the team. The thing is, I mean, James Dolan is a total con and fraud. I mean, he is the head of Cablevision, or his family is the head of Cablevision in New York, which New York is an island that is just cable operated. I mean, there's nothing else in New York but Cablevision. So they make money doing nothing just by waking up. So the guy's a total fraud and con.
He's a trust fund baby is essentially it.
Oh, totally. I mean, the worst kind. I mean,
yeah.
Again, they don't have to do anything. All they have to do is wake up.
And that's all he does, really, if you look at the management of the Knicks. I mean, he wakes up and he says, oh, I own a basketball team? Oh, give me that guitar. I'm going to take my crappy band on the road.
Well, Kevin, you do what you're going to do, but I honestly think you ought to start some sort of social media fan group to get rid of this guy. And you and the guy that got kicked out from the game over the weekend, get rid of Dole, whatever. I don't know, but you do it on Facebook or something like that.
Podcasts are free. and you got a captive audience. You and that guy get together on a Skype and do some podcasts. You'll get some groundswell because I mean, people like ESPN, Rich Eisen, The Ringer, they've all taken note of the story of James Dolan being an overwhelming bully. It just needs a little bit more groundswell, and I mean that's why we wanted to talk to you today.
Well, I appreciate you guys giving me the opportunity and the platform to speak about it because I thought my story was just sort of swept under the rug here in Tennessee. Because, I mean, how many Knicks fans are here in Tennessee? Just one. Me.
Well, you were just doing it to be a prankster, but hopefully something good comes out of it.
It was great talking to you. No, keep up the good work.
100%.
Keep it up.
But again, he found the one Knicks fan that there is in all of Tennessee, and he had the opportunity.
He had the opportunity to win you over, and instead he called you out and insulted you, and then tried to kick you out of an event that you paid to be at. Yeah.
He does what he does to everybody.
He say, hey, you don't own everything, Dolan. You don't own this venue.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like he is on such a high horse that he thinks that anywhere he's playing, he's like Madison Square Garden. He's going to try to throw people out of places that aren't even his place.
That's great.
Exactly.
All right, man.
He's a con and a fraud.
All right, great talking to you, Kevin. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, gentlemen. Have a great day.
Subscribe to the Jeff and Jeremy podcast now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, and YouTube. It's your Central Coast commute-friendly podcast.